Hi everybody. So welcome back to my channel. So today we are continuing the last class, that is the metals. So already we conducted two classes on the metals. Okay, we discussed the properties like that. In the last class we discussed about the classification of irons: pig iron, cast iron, wrought iron, steel. Okay, so today we have to discuss another topic. So that is one is alloying metals and ferrous alloys. So you know that there is a metal, we are discussed the metals and the types of metals, types of iron like that. So alloying metals and ferrous alloys, that will be the next topic. So what is the alloy? So first you have to understand what is the alloy. So alloy is formed by mixing two or more metals together by melting. So when you are melting two or more metals, two or more than two metals, okay, you will get the alloy. So okay, for ferrous metal alloy, metals and alloy, iron is the main constituent of metals. So ferrous metal and alloy, you were discussing the alloy metal and ferrous alloy. So when you're discussing the ferrous alloy, the iron will be the main constituent, or is the main part. Iron will be the main part. Okay, depending on the type and percentage of the alloy metal added, the property of alloy steel will be vary. So one component will be the steel or iron. So another component we are adding, another metal we are adding to the steel or iron, so you will get the alloy. Okay, so depends on the metal you are adding, the percentage and type of the type and percentage of the metal you are adding, the property will be changed. Okay, so metal commonly used for making alloy. So when you're the metals, there are used mainly for the making the alloy. That is, you can see here is a one is nickel, chromium, manganese, silicon, tungsten, vanadium, cobalt, molybdenum, cadmium. Okay, you can see here nine metal is there. These these nine metal we are normally adding to the iron or steel. So you are making the alloy, that is a ferrous alloy. Okay, so we have to understand, you have to study each metal properties. The first one is the nickel. So nickel, what is a nickel? It is a used industrial application like nickel cadmium battery. So you can see nickel battery or nickel cadmium battery, or we are using boiler tubes, we are using the nickel. Valves of internal combustion engine. So valves of internal combustion engine spark plug, in this area we are using the nickel. So mainly nickel, you can see nickel cadmium battery, it is easily available in market. In boiler tube we are using the nickel. Valve of internal combustion engine ka valve, we are using the nickel. Engine spark plug, okay, in here engine spark we are using the nickel. So what is the melting point of the nickel? The melting point of nickel is 1450 degrees Celsius. So 1450 degrees Celsius, it is the melting point of nickel. Okay, the next property is, what is the nickel can be magnetized. So when it can be magnetized means when you are placing near the magnetic material, it can be magnetized. Okay, in the manufacture of permanent magnet, a special nickel steel alloy is used. So for manufacturing the permanent magnet, so we are using nickel and steel. So steel means iron content will be there, nickel steel alloy we are using. Okay, so next one, nickel is also used for electroplating. That is, you are familiar with you electroplating. So nickel is also used for the electroplating. Okay, so next one is invar steel. That is already we discussed in the last class. Invar steel contain about 36 percentage of nickel. So invar steel is a 36 percentage of nickel. Okay, it is tough and corrosion. So because of you are adding the nickel, it will be tough and corrosion resistance. Corrosion means tendency to corrosion. Okay, so it is a tough and corrosion resistance. Okay, precision instrument are made up of invar steel because it has least coefficient of expansion. Precision instrument means you are measuring instrument, like measuring instrument. Okay, that will be we are making using Invar steel. So Invar steel containing the nickel component, 36% nickel. So because it has least coefficient of expansion. What is the coefficient of expansion? So when the changing the temperature, what will be the changing on the material property? Okay, so when the changing the temperature, what will be changing the resistance or changing the property of the material, that will be least coefficient of expansion. So when the temperature is increases, some metal will be expand. Okay, like that, that will be least for the Invar steel. Okay, so next one is nickel steel alloy are available containing nickel from 2 to, so when you're adding nickel steel alloy are available containing nickel from 2 to 50 percentage. So 2 to 50 percentage you can see nickel in the nickel steel alloy. Okay, the next one is the chromium. Okay, so when the chromium is added to the steel, improve the corrosion resistance. Okay, improve the corrosion resistance and improve the toughness and hardenability of steel. So when you're adding the chromium to the steel, what will happen? It improve the corrosion resistance and improve the toughness and hardenability of the steel. Okay, so chromium steels are available which may containing chromium steels are available which containing chromium up to 30 percentage. So up to 30 percentage you can see the chromium in the chromium steel. Okay, chromium, nickel, tungsten and molybdenum are alloyed for making automobile components and cutting tools. So for making the automobile components and cutting tool, we are adding, we are use the mixture of chromium, nickel, tungsten and molybdenum. Okay, chromium is also used for electroplating components. So that last PPT you already said that nickel is used for the electroplating and the chromium is also used for the electroplating. Okay, cylinder liners are chrome plated inside so as to have wear resistance property. So cylinder, okay, you know the cylinder liner are chrome plated inside. So inside the cylinder, okay, that is a chrome plated. So what is the reason? So as to have wear resistance, so it will produce the wear resistance properties. Okay, so when next one is stainless steel, that already studied that stainless steel contain about 13 percentage of chromium. So stainless steel it contain 13 percentage of chromium. Okay, next point is chromium nickel steel is used for bearing. So for making the, for manufacturing the bearing, we are using chromium nickel steel. Chromium nickel and steel, it will be used for the bearing. Okay, Chrome, chrome vanadium steel is used for making hand tools like spanners and wrenches. So spanners and wrenches we are using chrome vanadium steel. Okay, spanners and wrenches. Okay, chrome vanadium steel. Okay, that will be used. So it is not easy to understand, but you have to read this video because you have to read this chapter because some question will be coming in this chapter. Okay, so what is the property, what is the use of chromium, what is the use of nickel? Okay, like that. Okay, next one is manganese. Okay, Mn. So addition of manganese to steel increases hardness and strength but decreasing the cooling rate. So what is the point? When you're adding the manganese to a steel, it increases the hardness and strength. So it increases the hardness and strength but decreases the cooling rate. Okay, so manganese steel can be used to harden the outer surface for providing a wear resistant surface with a tough core. So manganese steel can be used to harden the outer surface. So it will provide, what will it will provide? It will provide wear resistance. That is our point. It will provide a wear resistance surface with a tough core. Okay, that is our point. The next point is manganese steel contain about 14 percentage of manganese. So what is important point? In the manganese steel, okay, it contain 14 percentage of manganese is used for making agricultural equipment like plugs and blades. Okay, plugs and blades for agriculture purpose we are using. that manganese steel containing 40% manganese. Okay, the next point, that is a silicon. Okay, so what is the, when you're adding the silicon, so what will happen? Addition of silicon for alloying with the steel improve the resistance to high temperature oxidation. Okay, so when the high temperature, some metal is undergo the oxidation. So when you're adding silicon to the steel, like it will be high, it will increase the, improve the higher temperature improve the resistance to high temperature oxidation. Okay, this also improve elasticity and resistance against the corrosion. Okay, there is a, every metal, every alloy, ferrous alloy, you can this, you can see this point, resistance against the corrosion. Okay, now also it is improve the elasticity is an important point. So when you're adding the silicon to the steel, what will happen? It will improve the elasticity. Okay, silicon alloyed steels are used in manufacturing spring and certain types of steel. Okay, due to its resistance to corrosion. So silicon alloyed steel are used for manufacturing spring. So manufacturing spring and certain types of steel due to its resistance to the corrosion. We are adding the silicon. Okay. Cast iron containing silicon of about 2.5. So cast iron, when you're casting, you already studied cast iron. It is also containing 2.5% of silicon. It helps the formation of free graphite, which promotes the machinability of cast iron. So when you're adding the silicon to the cast iron, what will happen? It helps the formation of free graphite. So it will form the free graphite, which promote the free graphite will be promote the machinability of cast iron. Okay, the next metal is the tungsten. Okay, what is a tungsten? This is a W. Okay, it is a represented W letter. So the melting temperature of tungsten is 3380 degree. That is an important point, you have to note this value. So what is the melting point of melting temperature of tungsten? It is 3380 degrees Celsius. So what is the property? Okay, what is the advantage of the tungsten? This can be drawn into thin wires. You can make into the thin wires. So it is an one advantage of tungsten. So due to this reason means, if this can be drawn into thin wire, it is used to make filaments of electric lamp. You know, every electrical student know that the filament of electrical lamp is made up of tungsten. There is a two things, because of it has a melting temperature of 3380 degrees Celsius, and this can be drawn into thin wires. Okay, tungsten is used as an alloy metal for the production of high speed cutting tool. So when you want the high speed cutting tool, we are using tungsten is used as an alloy metal. Okay, high speed steel contain alloy of 18% tungsten, 4% of chromium, and 1% of vanadium. So high speed steel, you know that steel, the property high speed steel is an alloy of 18% tungsten will be there, 4% of chromium, 1% of vanadium. What remaining will be the iron. Okay. The next one is stellite is an alloy of 30% of chromium, 20% of tungsten, 1 to 4% of carbon, and the balance is cobalt. So remaining will be the cobalt. So what is the stellite? It is used for the acid resistance machine part. Okay, stellite is an alloy, is mainly used for acid resistance machine part. It contains 30% of chromium, 20% tungsten, 1 to 4% carbon, and the balance is cobalt. Then the next metal is vanadium. Okay, so what is the, when you're adding the vanadium, what will happen? This improve the toughness of steel. So toughness, it will be improve the toughness of the steel. Okay, vanadium steel is used in the manufacture of gears and tools. So vanadium steel is used in the manufacture of gears and the tools. Okay, the next one is vanadium helps in providing a fine grain structure in tool steels. Okay, vanadium helps in providing a fine grain structure in tool steels. Okay, then fourth point is chrome vanadium steel containing 0.5% to 1.5% chromium, 0.15% to 3.3% vanadium, 0.13% to 1.1% carbon. So chrome vanadium steel it containing the vanadium is 0.13 to 1%. Okay. This alloys has high tensile strength, elastic limit, and ductility. So chrome vanadium steel containing, that is advantage of what is a chrome vanadium steel. This alloy has a high tensile strength, high elastic limit, and the ductility is a high value. Okay, so it is used in the manufacture of spring, gears, and shaft and drops forged component. So the chrome vanadium steel used for the manufacturing of spring, gears, shafts, and drops forged components. Okay, vanadium high speed steel containing 0.70% carbon and 10% of vanadium. Okay, vanadium high speed steel containing 10% of vanadium is considered as a superior high speed steel. So what is the superior high speed steel? The steel containing vanadium and the vanadium. Okay, when the steel containing vanadium, that is known as a superior high speed steel. Okay, next component is cobalt. Okay, so what is the melting point of the cobalt? Cobalt is 1495 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this can retain magnetic properties and wear resistance at very high temperature. So what is the advantage of cobalt? Retain it is, it has retain its magnetic properties and wear resistance at very high temperature. For a high temperature, very high temperature, to retain the magnetic properties and also the wear resistance. Cobalt is used in the manufacture of magnet, ball bearing, cutting tools like that. Cobalt is used for the manufacture of magnets, ball bearing, cutting tools like that. Cobalt high speed steel. Sometimes it is known as super high speed steel. HSS means high speed steel containing 5 to 8% of cobalt. Okay. This has a better hardness and wear resistance properties than tungsten high speed. So last we are studied tungsten high speed steel also. So when you cobalt high speed steel has better hardness and wear resistance property, okay, than the tungsten high speed steel. Okay, next one is molybdenum. So what is the melting point of molybdenum? It is 2620 degrees Celsius, 2620 degrees Celsius. Okay, this gives high resistance against softening when heated. So this gives high resistance against softening. So when you are heating, it gives a high resistance against the softening. Okay, molybdenum high speed steel contains 6% of molybdenum, 6% of tungsten, 4% of chromium, and 2% of vanadium. This high speed steel is very tough and good cutting ability. So molybdenum high speed steel is also available. It contains 6% of molybdenum. So what is the use of this high speed steel? It is a tough and a good cutting ability. Okay, steel very tough, very tough, and okay, it will be become very tough and it has good cutting ability. Okay, the next one is the last one is the cadmium. Okay, so what is the melting point of the cadmium? So melting point of the cadmium is 320 degrees Celsius. Okay, the melting point of cadmium is 320 degrees Celsius. This is used for coating steel components. So cadmium we are used for the coating steel component. Okay, so this last part. So there is a note last metal we are discussing in this video. So next one is we have to discuss non-ferrous metals and its alloys. So this video we are discuss the ferrous alloys and metals. Okay, ferrous alloys and metal. Next we have to discuss non-ferrous metals and this alloy. Okay, okay, thank you.